either reject it or he could accept it. Now, the lesser charges that Lawson faces and pled guilty to are second-degree murder instead of first-degree murder, kidnapping, tampering with evidence. In court today, Lawson admitted to carjacking and killing 49-year-old Reynaldo Padilla back in October of 2005 in front of Millie's restaurant in Northeast Albuquerque. The family says they are still angry.
We indict somebody on 6 counts, all based upon their confession what they've done, and then you throw out at least half of those and release some of the rest. That's not a just thing. It's not just.
And if the judge accepts the plea, then Lawson will be sentenced. But if the judge ends up rejecting that plea, then he will set this case for trial at a later date. Back to you.
All right, Mike. Now, no date has been set for the judge's ruling. The victim's family says prosecutors told them that Lawson could be a sympathetic figure to a jury if the case went to trial.
Our weather has been so mild lately, it's going to be hard to give up.
Because the winds of change are in the air. Here's Mike Hernandez with your first forecast.
And speaking of the winds, let's start with that. We've got some 20, 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts all along the eastern half of the state. There's some cooler air moving in behind that. There's actually some wind advisories that have been issued till 4 o'clock this evening for southeastern New Mexico. However, that does not mean the winds aren't going to be stiff everywhere else. Now, for the metro, I think it's late into this evening when the canyon winds get going, then we're going to see some very gusty winds. Out ahead of it, we're looking at the last of the very mild days. We're already at 64 degrees. So far, the winds have remained light, northwest at about 6 miles an hour. And temperatures around the state, you can see the contrast in the temperatures. 60s for the most part to the west and 70s down south. And then some cooler 40s, and some of that cool air starts to filter in behind the tropics moving through. And that's going to change our weather here, not only for today, but in the next couple of days. And there it is in the contour. There's actually some snow across Denver earlier. Right now, we're just watching the cool air filter down and the wind start to stir. I'll have more on that coming up here in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Mike. A downtown Albuquerque nightclub was the scene of an overnight shooting, the second shooting at an Albuquerque club in just 2 weeks. It happened around 1 this morning at Club 7. That's on 6th and Central. Police say the victim was shot twice in the stomach, taken to the hospital, but expected to be okay. Police are still looking for a suspect. No names or descriptions have been released at this time. Now, on November 5th, a similar incident broke out at a nightclub, Fantasia. That's in Northeast Albuquerque.
A district court judge in Santa Fe has ruled that there is enough probable cause to charge a man and a woman with murder in a shooting last summer. 26-year-old Noe Gonzalez was shot in a bowling alley parking lot in Santa Fe late last July. 32-year-old Hector Luis Pena of Santa Fe will stand trial on first-degree murder charges. However, the judge says the case against Vito Mauricio of Las Vegas, Nevada is thin and expects to set a reasonable bond for her. Police, meanwhile, continue to search for Pena's brother Saul, who has been fighting with the victim hours before the shooting.